Welcome to the news, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the effect of the Black Death on six different members of society: the high class member slash noble, the middle class member, the rural peasant, the urban peasant, the Jew, and the businessman. Let's get right into the news. In 1346, the Black Death struck Europe. This was because Italian sailors returning from a trading trip in China returned with infected fleas and rats carrying this deadly disease. Aboard the ship, most of the sailors were dead, with only a few surviving but still being very sick. From here, the disease spread throughout Europe, killing about 30 to 60% of the entire continent's population. Now, we will share with you how this disease impacted six members of society. Coming to you live with Pablo, a Christian man who has led groups to kill many Jews and himself has devastated countless Jewish communities, all because he thinks they're responsible for the Black Death. Pablo, explain yourself.
The Jews have been poisoning the wells, and they deserve to be punished for that.
That's really what you think? Why do you think that?
It's simple. They are dying less than other people, so it has to be them.
Have you ever thought that maybe it's because Jews follow certain practices that are just more sanitary than other people?
No, they're poisoning the wells, and I'm sure of it.
This guy is ridiculous. Jews are just being punished because people are mad about the Black Death and have no other people to blame. Simply unbelievable. Pablo, what do you have to say? It seems like Pablo has left us. Maybe he realizes how foolish he really is. Back to you.
Now over to Alfred, owner of Alfred's Bakery. How has the Black Death impacted a businessman like you, Alfred?
It's horrible. No customers to speak of. Just look at the place. Ever since the Black Death struck in 1346, there have been no customers for any small businesses around here, including mine.
Well, the Black Death is a scary thing, Alfred. People are scared to come out of their homes. They're isolating themselves. They've seen how people suffer with the Black Death. Sorry to say, but small businesses are on track to experience a steady decline of business until the Black Death is long gone.
I guess it all makes sense. With the risk of dying out there, people are isolating themselves in fear of the Black Death devastating them and their families. My business is doomed. I hate my life.
No, Alfred, don't cry. You'll be okay. Trust me. Trade will increase again after this disease fades away. Just stay safe until then, and you'll be fine.
You know what? You're right. Thank you. One day my baked goods will be known throughout Europe and beyond.
Bringing to you, Charles, a high-class member in France. How has the Black Death impacted your life, Charles?
Yes, of course. Of course, me as a high-class member of society, I've been separated from the germs of the lower classes, meaning that I do not get infected by the Black Plague, although some of my high-class colleagues have. My extreme wealth has allowed me to get easy access to food, so I have overall better health than the rest of the bunch. I am able to flee from my current location if I ever feel threatened by the Black Death, so life is easy for me.
Oh, good for you, I guess.
Yes, good for me.
Well then, how has the manor economy ended as a result of the Black Death?
Well, if you must know, in the aftermath of the Black Death, survivors in the rural area are fleeing to urban areas in search of work, meaning that I've lost some power, but not much. Overall, those ruling over rural areas have lost power, and those ruling over urban areas have increased in power. But don't get me wrong, I'm still powerful.
Okay, back to you.
Now, here's Maxwell, a rural peasant who is working on a farm during these hard times. Maxwell, how are you, and how has the Black Death affected you?
Hello, and I'm very tired because a lot of the other workers have been dying, so I have had to work harder and more.
Oh, I'm I'm sorry to hear that your fellow workers have died.
It's okay. People are dying every day because of this plague. For example, I'm not feeling too good right now.
Oh, that's awful. Are you getting any return for working harder?
Yeah. All of my friends and I have been demanding more pay. However, these higher class people are not treating us fair and not giving us what we deserve.
Oh, good luck. I hope you get what you want, Max.
Thank you.
Is that blood? Okay.
Walter is in with us now. He is an urban peasant who has been going through some tough times lately. How are you, Walter?
Hello. And yes, I have been going through some tough times lately. Tons of people are dying because of how closely everyone is working, so the plague has been rapidly spreading.
Oh, that's horrible to hear. But other than death, how has life been going for you?
Well, work has been very different because of all the rural peasants who are attempting to get work in urban places.
Ah,
And other urban workers and I are attempting to get better wages and stop the higher class people from devaluing us.
oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Why aren't you getting the wages that you want?
The higher class people are being unreasonable with the wages, and they are forcing us to have small wages despite there being inflation.
Oh,
And we are very close to getting the higher wages we feel we deserve. And even with all the death, the plague has opened up good opportunities for the lower class people.
oh, that's good.
And we are able to be paid better and achieve higher roles in society.
Well, that's great that you were able to take a step in the right direction, even though the horrible circumstances.
This just in. Antoine, a middle class member, is sharing how the Black Death has impacted his life and the life of other middle class members. Antoine, how have you been impacted?
Society has changed. People are afraid to talk to each other now. As a Christian, my religion has gone under a lot of change lately. Many people, many people feel their prayers are going unanswered and are starting to lose faith, while others have started to blame themselves for the plague, claiming their sins are the reason why we are suffering.
That's too bad to hear, Antoine. How are people health wise?
The middle class is just like everyone else, except for the high class, of course, who hide away in their pristine mansions. Death and poor health is everywhere, especially here in Italy, where about 60 to 70% of people have died, compared to only about 20% in England.
That's horrible to hear. Back to you.
That will conclude today's broadcast. We hope that you've learned the impacts of Black Death on several members of society. Thank you.